Welcome to Influence Matters, the show that teaches you how to turn your story into impact and your expertise into influence. I am your host, literary consultant, and hybrid publisher, Clara Rose. Each week, I cover topics related to crafting your message for the world and building influence for your business, ministry, cause, or brand. Sometimes, of course, I do have a special guest that is doing something interesting or unique that I think you might be interested in hearing about, and I bring them on the show. And today, indeed, is one of those days that I do have a special guest. So let me just tell you a tiny bit about her before I bring her on. So she is British. She's a therapist, coach, and creator of the Soul Signal Mapping. So if you've heard of that, I had not before. With over 15 years of experience helping women realign their lives and reconnect with who they truly are. She specializes in guiding women, especially those over 35, which well, I certainly am, through the hidden heartbreak of loss, breakups, repeating painful patterns, and revealing how those moments can become powerful catalysts for transformation on her signature program, Aligned Women, which heals heartbreak and rapidly aligns women back on track and purpose. So please help me welcome Diane Beck. Are you with me, Diane? There you are.
I'm
Welcome from
with
the other
you.
side of the
Hi.
world. Hello. Uh,
Hello.
so you are in the UK, correct?
That's right. Yeah, I'm in the UK.
Yeah. Ok- Okay. Well, thank you for taking time out of your, I guess, evening at this point to be with us this afternoon over here on my side of the world. Um, so I read a part of your bio, but just tell my audience what it is that you really do. What do you do?
I help people go in via the cracks in their life, which heartbreak is an amazing way to go in, to actually use that to kind of be a chiropractor back to yourself and re-click yourself back into place and into alignment. And the reason why that's really massively important is because when you're in alignment, only then can you know the right direction to go in. You get access to this inner GPS inside of you, which is a very deep wisdom. And yeah, it just connects you to, I've just can see my website on there. Yeah. So stop spinning, start living. You actually start living the life that you should be living rather than the one that your thinking mind is in chaos about.
And that, so you're like looking for those places in your life where you broke, right? The heartbreak or the loss or those
Yeah.
specific places as a
Yeah.
means of getting at what's on the inside, right? Crack open the
Well,
outside so you
it's
get to what's
yeah. What's amazing about that is when we're kind of walking around, we're all in a trance. So we're all walking around when we're comfortable, especially we're walking around in our programs and patterns consistently. And even if life isn't giving us what we want, people will still continue to go round and round in a circle. And it's only when we bump into the furniture of life, it's only when we have the heartbreak that we create this tear in the trance, and we can actually see a really rapid way in, from my perspective, helping women transform this rapidly go, and men too. I've helped men over the years, but I currently focus on women at the moment. But we go right the way deep down to the root cause very quickly. It's an amazing access point, and it's life changing in a matter of weeks because it's a key,
interesting.
Clara, which is why the soul signal mapping came in, because the body is this like amazing interface. Our bodies are talking to us all the time. And so we've got an unconscious mind that functions us, and it serves two masters. It's like it's serving the unconscious mind is serving like the higher aspects of ourselves, the deeper library of wisdom that we have. And it's also trying to serve this thinking mind at the surface, like a captain of the ship. And so it's got to find a way to communicate to us. And it uses signals, which other people label as symptoms. And so these signals is the first point of communication, and it talks in a very simple, different language to the thinking mind. But if you learn it, it key unlocks all of the healing stream very, very quickly and will literally tell you how to transform it and heal it.
So, what is like one example of a
Mm-hmm.
something we might call a symptom, but you would say, is a signal from our body?
I was literally doing this about an hour or two with a group, and we were using somebody to do that. So I use her signal. She's had a really painful shoulder, and she's to the point where she's had an MRI scan on it. It creates so much pain, and they've looked at it, really clinically looked at this, and they're like, there's nothing there. We don't know why it's so painful. Classic communication from the unconscious. So I led her in using my method, which really hands you the keys. I just know how to talk to it. So I guided her through this process, talking to the signal, which is really easy to do. And the signal, with the right questioning, can literally tell you how to heal it. I've done it with fibromyalgia, which is another classic symptom. And the fibromyalgia, which I've got a video of us doing this, and in under 20 minutes, her 10-year fibromyalgia disappeared because the unconscious told her what it was about, which I know is unfathomable to a lot of people who are really suffering with this. But the unconscious mind is running you and it's functioning you. And so not only does it know how to create a symptom, which is a signal to say, hey, pay attention, something's not right. If you ignore the signal, it's got to shout louder. It's got to find more creative ways to get your attention. So when we spoke to Susan's signals, and she's done a video talking about this, it's on my YouTube, and she went straight through to the root cause of it. We healed it. She healed it. Her amazing unconscious mind healed it. And then she's not had it since. And it took a few days for her to calibrate and come back into balance, because that was a lot of healing. So those are examples of signals. You're going to get pains, sort of like signals which can be somatic sensations like tingling, pressure, or it can be, you'll kind of keep bumping into the furniture of life and you've got an emotion about something. Emotions are brilliant signals to go in on.
So, like tearful, or it's so hard for me to
Yeah.
wrap my brain around something so abstract, right? And I can't be the only one thinking, I don't get it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't get any of this, right? It's so far outside
Yeah.
of um, the conscious mind, what we know, right? And I think most
For
people
sure. Yeah.
understand that we kind of walk through life um, by habits. I think it's like, depending on the expert that you listen to, 85 or 90% of everything that we do is just habit, right? We just keep repeating these.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way our brain conserves energy, right? We don't have to think about driving. We don't have to think about, getting our morning coffee. We don't have to think about showering, right? We just
Yeah.
do these things without having to think about them, right? So our brain can be off doing something else. But you're talking about something like deeper, something more, little, almost feels woo woo-y, right? To me. So
Mhm. Yep.
does it
So
does it
as a
seem
clinical
woo-y?
hypnotherapist, yeah, it does seem massively woo-woo. And when I first
Okay.
came into being a clinical hypnotherapist about 15 years ago now, I think nearly 16
Mhm,
years ago, I was not thinking like this at all. It was only through talking to unconscious minds a lot. And so maybe it's the language that I'm using, but I want to really
mm,
simplify this. So
mm,
you're absolutely speaking about something which I talk about all the time too with my clients, is
mm,
that we're doing these behaviors and these
mhm,
patterns of how we function all the time. And we're 96% unaware of what's going on
mm,
around us most of the day,
mm,
because we're in a
sure.
trance of a loop, because we conserve energy. We're energy conservation machines, and we're
Mhm,
also healing machines. What my job is to break people out of those bad habits. But I call those habits trances. So something that
okay.
you're doing without thinking about it, without being present and
Mm,
consciously really thinking about it, is most of us most of the day. Now,
mm,
when your life keeps presenting to you signals or symptoms, it's trying to break through that trance. It's trying to get your attention. It's like a child trying to tug your jumper to get your attention from behind, going, "Oi,
mhm,
pay me attention." Right? So it's got to try and find a way to get your attention because we're in this loop all the time. And what better way, creative way to do it than give you a twinge, give you a pain consistently.
Pain.
It's gonna give you, hey, pay me attention signals. And as a hypnotist, what I do with people is teach them how to communicate with that signal. And it's so simple, Clara. It is color. And actually, have you ever heard of Pythagoras in maths, in your maths lessons when we were at
Yes.
school?
Yes.
Pythagoras.
The
Yeah.
theorem. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, so Pythagoras, if any of you ever remember going to school and talk, this is where it's actually based in science and mathematics.
Mhm.
These signals that your body is giving you, Pythagoras was also obsessed with. And he knew that the body created signals, and he was trying to investigate this. And they give you signals in color because it's all frequency. It's got to give you
Mm,
try and
sure.
communicate with you. So it's going to communicate through frequency, which can be a sound, color. It's that frequency in whatever form, shape. So Pythagoras was big on shapes and number, but it's also, he
Mhm.
was also looking at color. It's all frequency. So if you think the language of the unconscious that's running you, that's trying to get your attention, is trying to speak frequency, but we speak English. And so in order to
Right.
bridge that, it's going to speak in pain. It's going to speak
Yeah.
in a signal,
Something we
which is like,
understand.
hi. Yeah, something we can't
Right?
ignore. So it's like the
Mm.
captain of the
Mm.
ship can't ignore the crew of the ship anymore. And
Mhm.
so the crew of you that are trying to run the engine room are going, oi, we got a rock in front of us. We want to try and navigate around this. So we're going to like bump into it. And so if you learn how to talk to the crew of the ship as the captain, you can get so much further in your life. And heartbreak, healing heartbreaks, which is a program that I run for people, uses the big signals, the huge signal of getting into the wrong relationship consistently and seeing that
Mm.
pattern. Why do I always attract this person? It causes me pain. I always seem to attract this in my life, or I'm heartbroken that I never achieved this. It's heartbreak is so keenly connected to what is most deeply important to us that if you're getting signals of heartbreak, that is one of the most amazing ways to use that way in to completely transform the foundation of your life, because we go right to the root cause of that heartbreak with this communication. So
Interesting.
you're bypassing talking therapy. Talking therapy just talks to your thinking mind, and your thinking mind
Mm.
isn't running you. Your thinking mind's a commentator, like at the sports. It's not actually on the pitch. It's not running you. It's creating theory. Your unconscious mind is functioning you. So what better part of you to speak to than the unconscious?
Interesting. Interesting. So when you were talking about uh, the ways that the body tries to get your attention, if you will, the subconscious tries to get your attention, and you're talking about symptoms, I thought, I wonder if when people get the tinnitus, the ringing in the ears, right? Because that's sound, right? Maybe that's signaling something. I mean, I don't know. That just popped into my head when you were saying that.
It is every single. This is such a brilliant example because I had that and I did that for myself. So I went into the signal in my right ear and I kind of like had a chat. And this is going to sound so strange and so woo, but I want you to bring it down to chatting to somebody else in a different language. Like I speak English, my thinking mind speaks English, but my unconscious mind speaking Swahili, it's like Hawaiian language. So I've got to try and learn Swahili in order to talk to it. I've got to try and learn, and it's really simple. It's color. It uses it for you. It gives it to you. Pain sensation, color, sound. Sound is fascinating when you use sound with this. That is really amazingly quick. Like sound healing, that you've heard of, like sound healing bells and
I've
frequency
seen the
devices that emit
little
frequencies.
bowls,
Yeah.
right? They do the little bowl thingy, makes noise.
Hmm.
So feels woo woo to me. It really does.
Well,
It feels like
I'll
it's
explain it.
made
It
up.
is so out there. But
Explain.
I'll explain it. If you have two guitars in a room, So you've got two guitars and you twang the C string of that guitar.
Mhm.
The C string of the other guitar is going to start to resonate and make a tone. Yeah. So
Huh.
it's called entrainment. So it starts to resonate and create this tone in the other instrument. Our bodies function like that. So if something frequency wise is going to resonate with you, you're going to feel it. So let's say that two people
Mm,
are listening to the same story and one person gets emotional, but the other person doesn't.
mm,
The person that's got emotional is resonating with the frequency of the message. So their body is telling them, wait, we've got something here about that, which could do with some attention. And you'll find that then if they go in and they heal whatever their connection is to that problem, suddenly they're more resilient to those kind of things in the future. They're more
mm,
resilient and they're not as reactive anymore. So it's communication through frequency. And that's undisputable in
oh,
science, where everything is oscillating frequency. Everything is like,
right.
everything's vibrating, as are we. And our bodies use that creatively. And it's an amazing way in. And it's color, sound, shape. It's fascinating. And it's so simple, Clara. When you learn how to talk to it, it's so simple and it's so quick and it has such amazing effects.
So bizarre.
Mm.
It's so bizarre.
In a
So
good way,
talk
right?
to me. And yeah, I mean, it opens up possibility, right? It expands possibility for especially somebody who suffering from something that um, they say there's no cure for, or there's, they've tried to get help, but they're not finding a solution for whatever's going on. So that provides hope for someone to say, okay, there's something more here. It sounds woo wooey, but let's explore it in case, because I've tried everything else, right? Why not, right? Look for something outside the box a little bit
What I would,
um,
yeah,
to get some
what I would say
relief.
is, and something that is woo woo is just something that hasn't been explained by science yet. And
Mm,
actually, the Rife frequency machine was so popular. And if you kind of look at was it Ronald Rife? I can't remember his name, but the Rife frequency device and frequency medicine is the future of medicine. And that is, I've
interesting.
had devices which have been using frequencies for years that are created in Germany and Russia, and frequency devices which are approved for use, and they're using light frequency to bypass and go via the skin and talk to the cells using frequency of light. Now I'm doing the same thing, but I'm doing it with frequency using the color. And what I mean by that is
Interesting.
when the person is going inside of their body and they're being guided to be next to the signal, let's say the signal's in the shoulder, and they imagine that they're next to the shoulder, and then they see this color coming from the shoulder, they can ask questions about it. It's that simple. Like the frequency is kind of going, it's the this is a problem frequency. But if you're
Hmm.
listening and communicating with the body and not looking outside of you, but going directly to the source of the communication, you have a really good chance of finding out important information that could make the difference between speeding up the resolution of that or not.
Okay, interesting. So it's hypnotherapy, right? So it's like a guided tour inside
Mm-hmm.
your body, right? It's hypnotherapy. That's at least
Mm-hmm.
that's the way I think of hypnotherapy. I've had
Yep.
hypnotherapy once, and that's kind of how it felt, right? It was a kind of being guided inside my thoughts or inside me. So is this something you mentioned earlier that it's a group thing? Is this something that's always done as a group, or do you sometimes do it one-on-one with people, or do you do both? Talk
I
about your
do
practice a
both. I
little
mean, well, just on that as well, it is hypnotherapy. That would be implying that I'm doing it to someone. Whereas all that I'm doing is guiding someone else to do it for themselves. It's really empowering. I'm out of the way. As a trained hypnotherapist, therapeutically using the key into the unconscious, which is all hypnosis is. Once you're through the door,
Mm,
now what? You've got to know how to
right.
guide. This is not me coming up with something I think from my thinking mind will heal it. This is me connecting the client to themselves, which is the only part of them that knows how to create the problem in the first place, because it's functioning 50 to 100 trillion cells of your body, and it knows everything
Right.
about you, and forensically has stored the library of you. And so connecting you back to you to ask that part of you those questions. So the person is talking back to me all the time. It's not a deep out of it, I'm out of it and someone's controlling me kind of trance, which is the, perceived way if somebody's never experienced
Mm,
hypnosis. You're in hypnosis
right.
most of the day. Going back to what we talked about at the beginning, hypnosis is just you doing a
Mhm.
program. So this is teaching you to close your eyes, go inside, and suddenly you can talk to you and the part of you that has answers. And so if I'm doing it with a group of people, I'm working on one person. If I'm doing it one to one,
Okay.
I'm doing it with one person, but I'm demonstrating to a group, this is how we're going to go in
Gotcha.
today on this. And this forms, the soul signal mapping forms only a small part of a program, a 4-step program to align someone's life. That is the healing part.
Okay.
So there are
Okay.
4 steps to this. The 4 steps, the first one is finding out your root cause to why your life isn't the way you want it to be. Then step 2 is using this method to go and rapidly chat to the unconscious so you can heal it right at the part of you that knows how to function it and therefore how to resolve it. And then really using that connection to love yourself at a deeper level and get to know who you really are. Because once you're in that place and can really talk to yourself, there are bigger questions to ask. You can really deeply connect to who you really are underneath what you've been told you should want. And you can ask very
Mm.
deep questions from a deep place of quiet, connected soul chat. And section 4 is goal setting, because once you know who you are, and then you can
Yeah.
know what you want.
And we all need to set good goals. I'm a huge goal
Yes,
person.
kids.
I love that you have that
Yeah,
piece of
positive
it
goals.
because, right, you need, um, to
Need
map
it.
out and structure out, like, what you're trying to accomplish. So I love that you end with that, right? Let's do some work, figure out the problem, fix the problem, do some work, and then
Yeah.
create a map or plan moving forward. I love when things are, like, make sense and are strategic. That makes me happy.
Yeah. Oh, it's so
Uh,
strategic. And it's a testable system. This has been tested. This has been tested over and over again, and it's measurably testable, Clara. So if somebody's going through this, they can test exactly where they are in that process.
mm,
There's no guesswork. So it's either there or it's not. It's either gone or it's not, and it's really testable.
right.
The goal setting, we can't set goals that we're going to achieve if we still have a sabotage inside, like an unconscious
Mm,
program transfer doing. So
right.
the goal setting's so important, because you've been setting your goals in the past from a place of pain, and when you've healed the
Mm.
pain, your brain will be, well, now where's the destination? So it's really important to then reset the dial. The inner GPS needs a destination,
Like a reset.
like
Recalculate.
a reset. Yeah,
Right? Just like
exactly. It's
our the
like beep beep beep
GPS
beep
does
beep.
on our
Yeah.
right? Reset. Interesting.
Reset. Yeah.
So, I always have to ask everybody this, so I have on the show because, of course, you know that that's what I do. I help people write their story and get their book out of their head and get it published. Do you have a book?
I'm writing a book, Clara,
You're writing a
which is
book.
very exciting
Okay, I
about
love
this. Yeah,
that.
it's about the soul signal mapping. Yeah. So
I
I'm
love
beginning to
that.
structure this book. Yeah, it's all about this method and how to realign your life and how to spot, which is the most important thing, how to spot when you're off alignment, where you're off track.
Mm,
And it's
mhm,
all the signals will show you. Your inner GPS is going to be telling you and communicating with you, this is how you're off track. And if you're in big bumps in life all the time, that's a really big signal how you're off track. So the book is really about to
mhm.
show you, this is how you can follow this process, go inside, do these exercises to find, oh, okay, That makes sense.
I love
That
that.
is going, and it's going to show you the patterns and then give you really applicable ways to move forwards.
I love that. So, when do you expect that your book will be out? Do you have like a idea when it's coming out?
In a few months would be amazing. And that would be
Okay.
ambitious, but I will definitely. But in a few months, it's going to be in a few months. But there are so
Okay.
many exercises. If somebody's kind of listening to this, going, "I want to know more about this method now. This feels like or sounds like it could be good for
Mhm.
me." You can go and have a look at the website. So on the website,
Yes.
actually, there is ways to contact me, and there are ways to kind of contact me for the alignment process, or if you just want to chat and inquire more about how I work and how you would understand this, you can have a free
Sure.
consultation with me and chat. And there's a way to get that. And you'll also get a free download and a free ebook as well that will also explain a little bit.
Nice.
So that's going to give you a way
Okay.
in. Yeah.
Okay, so then they have a way to start the conversation if they're one of those people. Not
Yeah.
everyone is, right? Some people wanna, "I'm gonna go buy the book first," kind of thing. So I love that you have a
Yeah,
book
sure.
coming
Oh,
out,
absolutely. Oh my God. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
some
So
people are just those
important. Like the
people.
books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a book person. I
Yeah. Books.
love, not that I don't
Yeah.
wouldn't
Me
do the
too.
interactive stuff, but I am just a book person by nature. So I love to have the want to refer back to things, and so I look
Yeah.
forward to hearing that your book is out. So be sure and connect with me, and then I'll let my audience know. Hey, Diane's book's out now. If you've been waiting for it to come out, I want to be sure and let them know when it does. Okay, so in the interim, between now and then, um, they'll just go to dianebeckcoaching.com,
Mhm.
and connect with you there, get the freebie that you offer, um, the little ebook, or hop on a call with you, learn more about you. Any place else you'd like for people to connect with you?
Yeah, there's also a link for people specifically listening to this who know they've got heartbreak. Healingheartbreaks.com is another way where you can get
Okay,
specific heartbreak
okay.
information. So healingheartbreaks.com, that will take you straight to me. That's another video download, and I can talk to you because heartbreak is one of the biggest ways into realigning your life through this 4-step process. And I know it just hits a lot of people. It can be loss of a pet, loss of a job, or loss of a partner.
Right.
That's a really, really big issue. Or as women my age, like, 49 and in their 50s, this heartbreak can be, I just don't have a compelling future. I'm heartbroken about where my life isn't
Mm,
going, and it's just a
mm,
matter of the heart. So
gotcha.
if that resonates more with you, if that feels more like, yeah, that's where I'm at, healingheartbreaks.com is going to give you a link in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Well, we're out of time, but thank you so much for taking time out of your evening to be here. I appreciate that so much. And of course, my
Thank you.
friends, I never want to leave without saying, if you are in that place where you are finally ready to get your book out of your head and get it out to the world, where you can make a difference in the world around you, I would love to be a part of that process. If you're looking to grow your influence with a book, you can check out the free Savvy Author community on Facebook, of course, Savvy Authors, or you can go to craftingyourmessage.com over to my website and check out how you can work with us. We do have a new cohort that starts each month. If you'd like to join the next cohort, together as a group, we will move forward through getting your book out of your head, getting it outlined, and work through the process of actually getting the work done, which is what it takes, my friend. And if you want to chat a little bit more about the option of working one on one with me, you can hop on my calendar, which is on my website as well. So you can just hop over there if you want to be on the show, the Influence Matter Show. You can click the link and schedule a time right there. Or you can say, hey, I want to talk about my book or anything else you want to talk about. Grab a spot on my schedule. All right, I'm out of time, friends. I will see you next week. Take care.